Spain, King George commands and we obey, over the hills and far away. I should fall to rise no more, as many comrades did before, then ask the fifes and drums to play, over the hills and far away. O'er the hills and o'er the main, through Flanders, Portugal and Spain, King George commands and we obey, over the hills and far away. Then falling lads behind the drum, with colours blazing like the sun, along the road to come what may, over the hills and far away. O'er the hills and o'er the main, through Flanders, Portugal and Spain, King George commands and we obey, over the hills and far away. Whoops. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and welcome back to the RedCoats Podcast. Yeah, sorry it's been a while. We've been doing other things at this point. Why are we talking about lobsters? I've no clue why we're doing that. Hang on. It's gotta be blue. It's gotta be blue. Anyway, today's topics will be revolving around generally the a lot of the stuff that's been happening in America recently, like the swarmed migrant caravan. You also had the Pittsburgh shooting, where an anti-Semite walked into a Pittsburgh synagogue and killed quite a couple Jews in there. And there was a massive pipe bomb threat that was sent to a bunch of Democratic leaders. And then they found out that supposedly a white guy had done it. And that it's just a bunch of racist shit. But from both sides, but it's still pretty bad. Oh yeah, speaking of Doctor Who, I just watched today's fucking episode. Dreadful. There was a character in it which was supposed to be, well, Donald Trump effectively, and holy shit, you can just tell the BBC are like, they're past the point of, you know, caring. They go for the throat and they yikes. They basically, it was a tycoon. He owned a bunch of hotels and he was running for president in 2020, and he was firing people because Donald Trump did that a lot on The Apprentice. But no, the BBC, they really dropped the ball on this one, because Doctor Who is sort of one of those shows where you just watch so that you can actually get away from this sort of stuff, and then you have the BBC putting their long schlong of self-righteous politics down your throat and trying to say, yeah, Orange Man bad, he's a bit of a baby. My British has doubled since the last time I watched. Really? My British? What do you mean? Oh dear. Yeah, well, the reason I'm currently wearing a suit, it's not because of any extra podcast stuff. It's because I don't know if any of you guys know Nicholas J. Fuentes. He's I think he's about a year older than me, and he has a podcast called America First. And I was like, hello, camera. I was like, yeah, why not wear a suit? Makes everything a bit more, you know, more fun, really. Instead of just sitting there in my fucking awful ass what is it? It's like Salt Rock t-shirt, like I do all the time. We all know you're not wearing trousers, really. Thank you. I am wearing trousers. I was actually going to go 50-50, but so I might as well. Wanker. Briefcase wanker. Yeah, of course. Yeah. There's just so many categories of stuff that we can actually go through tonight. The reason mainly why tonight's one was delayed was because I actually want to have more time to talk about this, and because my dinner is normally at like 7:30, and if we started at 6 we'd only have an hour and a half, whereas now it's basically until I get bored or everyone leaves, which sort of, yeah. Shake my head should have taken the trousers off. Okay. How do you use the bucket with trousers on? The bucket? Oh. Okay. I don't have Fallout. I intended on getting it at the time, but I don't know. I wanted to play it. I just didn't have the money at any point, and was sort of just interested in more, Star Wars related things around, what was it, Force Awakens? So, it is what it is. Right, to the main topic. Basically, if you guys haven't heard, I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, there was a synagogue shooting in Pittsburgh, in the good old US of A. And an anti-Semites who had a Gab account. Gab is like the alternative and sort of more free speech worthy version of Twitter, which a lot of the time is sort of seen to be racist or maybe right wing. But I mean, is it though? I mean, free speech means all speech. Hate speech, pointless speech, anything. It allows anything through, apart from illegal shit. Sounds like King George with reasonable governing of colonies. I'm actually related to the first kings of England, and to a certain extent current royalty, but I mean most people in England are anyway. As soon as you get into the Plantagenets or the Tudor portion of history, you're pretty much set to go. Seized Jamaica, a fine addition to my collection. Yeah, colonialism and imperialism are very, very interesting things to study in history. They're because you'll always have that pissed off black dude at the back of the class going, "Oh, my country got taken over. My ancestors were slaves." Oh, yikes! I probably shouldn't have said that, but it's true. It's the same thing with a lot of people of other races today. They oh, we were oppressed in the past. It's like, are you oppressed right now? Well, yeah, no. Do you have the right to vote? Yes. Oh, you do. You have the right to own property. Oh, what's that? You do. That's odd. I find that odd. Are you attacked in the streets physically because you're black or you're white or whatever? No. That's odd. That's really odd. And then you have stuff in South Africa where this reverse apartheid thing is going on, and you have a bunch of whites being assaulted, raped, killed, and their land's taken over by the government, and people are crying, "Oh, but it's paying them back for apartheid." No, I think the fact that apartheid had to be stripped away by the governing bodies at the time, I think that was a big enough break over what happened. We should take over Britain, really? Yikes. Well, I mean, maybe. We just got to get some better leaders right now, honestly. It's sort of just a meme of who can be worse at running a country. You have, recently, there was I think it's the Shadow Chancellor for Labour. He's a self-admitted Marxist and a socialist. And there was a piece of paper or a contract that he signed that would impart to Parliament that he wanted to dissolve MI5, demilitarise the police even more, bearing in mind our police aren't, they don't have open carry, that you would have to have armed, like, it would, not facilitate the need for that stuff to go on. And there's a whole other bunch of fucking bollocks, honestly. The suit looks big on me. Nah, it's perfect. Look at that. Look at that. Let's stand up. See, I suit up nicely. See, this is... Oh, Jesus Christ. Hang on. We should take back the colonies in Normandy. Right, okay. When's the fortnight dance class? That's what I came for. Yikes. Did I hire it? No, this suit's fairly old. I think I've had it for about, 2 years now? Yeah, I don't really bring it out that often. Apart from when we have formal Fridays at college sometimes, which is fun because you see all the shits that are covered in suits that you'd wear to court or something like that, and it's like, well, that's the only reason he's got that fucking suit. Yikes. It's like when Tekashi 6ix9ine, the actual paedophile that got let off on 4 years probation, the first time he went into court, and he looked like an absolute wanker. Unbutton it. There you go. Did a button fall off? Did a button fall off? One. No, there's just 2 holes, so no. 6ix9ine, he is... I have no respect for him. I don't like his music. I'm sure some of you would disagree on that point. But if you've pretty much been told that you're a paedophile, and this is stood up in court, and the judge and the jury have both said, yeah, this guy's guilty of being a paedophile, send him to prison. Why is there a suspended or a probationary sentence? This guy has had unconsensual sex with a minor. Personally, I think all paedophiles should get the bullet. And I'm pretty sure, to a certain extent, he must have known. There's... Hang on, gotta love when a suit is worn like a tuxedo after one hell of a bachelor party. Actually, yesterday, fucking hell, I was wankered yesterday. Like, woke up at... Well, got back at, 2:30. Try and get into bed, can't go to sleep for a while. As soon as my watch starts beeping to show that it's 3 o'clock, on the dot, sprint out of bed, fucking vault over the banister that I have outside my room to get down to the next floor, and fucking projectile vomit from outside of the corridor into the toilet. I mean, I was surprised I didn't fucking die after doing that, let alone, launching up my guts, but yeah, that was a fun Saturday, that was. Wank. Very nice. Channeling your inner David Cameron. Excuse me, to my knowledge, have never fucked a pig, so... I'm sure his wife is very nice. Drink pints every day. Why have I got a Diet Pepsi up here, actually? I don't have any alcohol on me right now, because, I woke up at, 3 o'clock, and... head was beating, and back problem from probably launching myself over the fucking banister. I don't have a bucket, fuck you. Oh, my sheep, hilarious. This is blasphemy. Rob Lowe is a proud homosexual gay man, gets away with underage porn, but a simple working class man gets arrested. Who's Rob Lowe? Wait, a proud heterosexual gay? There's definitely a few things wrong with that sentence. Fuck, why does this keep happening? I keep trying to do the, actually go on with the subjects, and then it just turns into a meme mess. Fucking jewelry. Hang on. Gotta quickly do something. The sounds that you're casually hearing is my immensely unkempt and disgustingly untidy room. Yeah, so I do not listen to Jordan B. Peterson when he says, clean your room. He's getting the bucket. It's better this way. Rob Lowe is straight at fucking men. Oh, doesn't, okay. Does not compute. Right, let's have a look who Rob Lowe is. See, it's not gay if you say no homo. So look. Let's have a look here. Oh, he's from Parks and Recreation. Okay. No clue. But I have to come over here. I have to drag my chair or get up out of my chair, bearing in mind my computer tower's right there. Drag myself over here and go, hey guys, how's it going? Oh, let's just look this up quickly. Do you like my fucking head? No homo are the magic words. Anyway, as we were discussing before, hello camera, can you, yeah, there we go. Yeah, Pittsburgh shooting, bunch of Jews got killed and a bunch of Democrats are obviously, you know, oh, it was a white man, he must be, you know, a Trump supporter. And yet, when people looked at his Gab profile, which he'd had for less than 6 months, he thought that Trump was being, like, fucking manipulated like a puppet by Jews, and therefore didn't like him. And very often used anti-Semitic language in a lot of his, you know, his outbursts. And doesn't seem as though he was a Republican. It's more likely that he was a Democrat. But you know, a lot of the news outlets aren't talking about him. We know who he was, and to some extent, people don't want to say his name for the fact that it legitimizes and allows people to do these shootings to get famous, or, you know, get their name, you know, put down as, you know, he committed this shooting, he killed this many people before getting shot, or something like that. But I do feel as though, especially on the left wing, you do seem to see that people aren't reporting on these things for the simple fact that, dependent on the race or the character or the background of such a person facilitating these shootings, it can either go for them or it can go against them. So normally, if it does go for them, they're gonna go, "Hey, look, you're a fucking white male." And if it's someone like what was it? Who's that YouTube shooting when that oh, I can't even remember. She wasn't white, but the fucking YouTube thought that shot up YouTube HQ, I believe. And like it pretty much dropped silent fucking immediately after. Let's have a look. Cough cough. Not building a wall, funding Israel. I do not like Israel. It shouldn't exist. Bomb it. He will build a wall around Israel to protect them from Palestine. Palestine's not the facilitators of the conflict. It is Israel. If you look at how big Israel was in after its founding, which is I think 48, after World War II, and after Germany got fucked, it was tiny. It was in like little bits and pieces, and in the complete minority in the shadow of Palestine. And nowadays it's the majority, and Palestine is just infinitesimally getting smaller. But yeah, there's just grab a U-Haul and bring the Africans to France. They have plenty of cheese and have the same immigration policy as their safe sex practices. Well, I mean, France really do have it bad. I think Macron is not doing the job that he was told to do. At least, okay. Honestly, just funneling money into African countries is completely pointless, because a lot of the time, especially in these massively corrupt areas, you're not going to see the money actually get into the places that they need to be. I mean, let's take India as a country for an example. There was I think there was an IMF bunch of funds that was going to them, and it was for local level stuff, so improving quality of life in villages. It got into the country, and it got to the high ranking level of government officials, but out of like, let's say it was a figure of 100,000, $10 got to an individual village. It's bollocks, absolute bollocks. Yeah, exactly. LSD is bang on the money there. Right, okay, yeah. What? So what if my country has a terrorist attack a day? I get to eat kebabs. Fuck yourself, racist? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just when people say diversity is our strength, what are the chances are that they've actually met and spoken to these refugees and migrants that are coming into the country? You know the main demographic of them. I'm not talking. Oh, hello, little child. Oh, you can barely speak your own language. Okay, that's all right. And because they don't have any views or, proper understanding of the situation, it's not as though they're going to be fazed by it. But then you have these military-aged potential, terrorists coming in. And it's like, oh no, I've not met them. They're not the ones that we're trying to look out for. And yet you're still facilitating them getting into the fucking country. Europe is getting fucked over by these people. Sweden and Germany most predominantly. Hungary got fucked over by the EU because they refused to take any more refugees in, because they used Hungary as a path to get into France. It's terrible. Because I don't think Hungary... I think they've got like proxy elections now where it has to go through the European Union. It's like, nah, fuck that. I'd fucking mobilise the military if something like that happens. Yeah, but it just says that the European Union are a bunch of cunts anyway. It's always been like that. The single market, or common market, or whatever you want to call it, is fucking stupid. But the free market is that's even worse to an extent. Why do all these refugee children have iPhones and beards? It's true. It's the same thing with this migrant caravan that's coming up from like Honduras and Ecuador and all these Southern American countries going up through Mexico and trying to get into the United States of America. Like they're saying, oh look, this girl is completely enamored because she lost her teddy bear on the way up. Fucking and go home, pick up the teddy bear and fuck off. Go get a job. Go to another country. You're passing through several countries where you have the possibility to actually claim asylum and actually get a good fucking job. You do not have to go to America. I'd love to go to fucking America, but I'm not going to go there fucking illegally. Even if I was in Mexico and speaking bloody horse fucker language. It's stupid. It's ridiculous. They're not iPhones, they're bombs. Yeah, nice clock, Ahmed. You wanna? Oh dear. Well, supposedly, I'm pretty sure that it did turn out to be mid-bomb creating, because it was in such a fucking obfuscated way that it did actually could have been retrofitted into a bomb. It's like, hey, potential terrorist, you want to come to the fucking White House? Yeah, Mr. Obama, that's not the fucking best thing to do, honestly. Yeah, migrant caravans, yikes. The migrant caravan is so completely out of control of the United States because they only start understanding that they're actually happening when they get to about the 400, 500 numbers, and when they get to that point you have CNN film crews and all these liberal leftist propaganda machines coming in and it's like, oh, we gotta, hey, look at the pictures, guys, and all of this stuff, and you can't ultimately do away with them pretty easily. Wow, nice poverty. You have, let me just get you 20 gold bars just because you're from a third world country. Yeah, exactly. God, Venezuela, what a piece of shit country that is. But when they're coming up, I think the countries in the future, if Trump honestly doesn't want people like that getting into his country, which, you know, is fair enough, then he's got to be prepared to tell these other countries for the next time that if this were to happen, they mobilise their military immediately. If they try and push through, the fucking migrants get shot. Simple as that. Because the bullets would cost less than it would, you know, just like keeping them there and feeding them and shit, so. Why are you in a suit, weirdo? My answer to that is yes. What's my favourite country? I don't know. What is my favourite country? I like Poland and Hungary, because they're very right wing, and they don't care if you got a bunch of crying 21-year-olds saying, "Oh, fuck having borders and shit. We want to go everywhere illegally. We want to constantly break the law in every country that we're in." They just tell them to fuck off. Poland's the best for it. You got like fucking 10,000 people going, "Fuck off, out of here now." Me strolling to my imminent ditch. Nice spelling of death there. Is there anything else that you guys want to bring up politically? If we can have less of this meme shit in the chat, I do have a Discord for that, and you could probably put that stuff in the meme chat. The RedCoats Podcast has one, and myself, DJ GT, also has one. I shouldn't have taken my glasses off because now I can't fucking see. Die, you cyberbully. Yikes. Yeah, there's just crazy shit coming up to the midterms. You sort of think, well, a lot of these, if you guys have heard about it, these pipe bombs, I see. All these pipe bomb incidences that were sent to like CNN staff, the Obamas, the Clintons, all of these, like fucking Chimacasta, what a wanker. But there is not a sane Republican or someone on the right wing who would genuinely think, how can we get ahead in these midterms? Well, I mean, we could debate them and show that our part of the political spectrum is more, you know, better for the people who will be voting. It's like, yeah, Bill, that's right, but I reckon we should just send them a bunch of inert, poorly made pipe bombs that didn't even have explosive powder in them, were completely... They weren't even bombs. They were things that were made to look like bombs, and... like an actual bomb defusal expert had said that these bombs were so like cartoonishly fucking made. They literally look as though they're out of a cartoon, because the ignition device wouldn't have actually done as big of an electrical shock to actually set off the fucking bomb. It would have been completely impossible to set it off. It has such low charge or resistance that it just doesn't do anything. And the fact that there was no C4 or any explosive powder at all. And then you have a bunch of people going like that. It's like, oh, they want to kill the Dems. They want to kill us. Well, I mean, that may be, but I mean, we wouldn't use bombs to do it. No one would do that running up to the midterms, because it just gives more reason for people to vote for the other side, because they realise that they're not militant domestic terrorists. But it was the same thing a couple months ago. Donald Trump Jr. and I think his brother were sent like inert or powder, white powder that was supposed to be like toxic and basically to some extent it could kill you in vast quantities, but it was only like a small envelope full, and that was barely spoken about. That was literally only spoken about by Fox and the people actually involved in the situation. And, you know, CNN, fuck all about it. And now with this bloody pipe bomb incident where, well, although fucking nothing happened, thank bloody God, and the fact that you have all of these things going on with, oh, it's just so cartoonishly bad. They're talking about that to no fucking end. But it's like, oh, they Senator fucking Jim Acosta. Oh, we gotta save him. But they didn't speak about, you know, something that could quite possibly have killed the president's son. Can we stop with the that stuff, please? Or you're gonna get timed out. Simple as. What else has happened this week? I should have written this down, honestly. Yeah, bastards. Well, apparently the Star Wars Boba Fett movie was cancelled, which, who cares? I wasn't really even excited about it anyway. I wouldn't have watched it had it come out. What else? Well, Red Dead came out. I think Fallout 76 came out. I've not really seen anything about Fallout 76, but Red Dead looks very nice. I've played a very small amount of it, probably like 20 minutes. Oh, I really want to get Fallout 4. If only there was a way that people could donate to this channel and facilitate that need. Oh, if only there was a way. Oh dear. Oh, okay, it's the beta. Alright. Colombia wasting all of their oil and money, and now they're broke. They have the biggest oil deposit of the world, and they're poor as fuck. Well, maybe they just didn't. They didn't. Well, a lot of countries, what they do, and it was especially what happened with Britain, is that a lot of their export and their internal resources, with coal and gas. Coal was completely blown off by nuclear forms of energy, which meant that there was a lot of industry that just fucked off really quickly in the 70s, which meant that a lot of the economic side of that, and you just fall into a depression, really. Funny. Yikes. Yeah, their infrastructure just wasn't right. Don't you hate it how Obi-Wan's line, "Only a Sith deals in absolutes," is a fucking absolute in itself? A Sith Lord? You're not wrong. What do you mean? Fucking neither. They're both awful people. Communism and socialism, to an extent, both of them have killed more people than human beings than any other form of government, any disease, ever. What is it? It's like something like 107 billion people. And of the ones that we understand, communism's killed millions and millions and millions of people. Yeah, so. Yeah, exactly. It's the light version. I think you're just a bit fucked if you support any of that shit. They should have kept the SARS. Nah, Stalin just say, I am the prison, and then just let everyone out as a social experiment. I saw some fucker in my college reading the Communist Manifesto. I just really felt like just going, this is a pretty cool book. Can I put it in my filing cabinet for later? Yeah, sure. Pick it up and just launch it in the fucking bin. I am the Politburo. Oh, bugger! That was the other thing that I was supposed to talk about. Bolsonaro, possibly future president of Brazil. He's the populist candidate. He is right-wing nationalist. That's very good. He is a fucking hilarious guy. He is like off the walls, insane. Some woman supposedly back in 2003 accused him of being a rapist. You know, it's like, you could be a rapist. Fuck you, mate. And then he says something along the line of, I wouldn't rape you. You don't deserve it. And then she goes, oh, well, if you were to try to rape me, I'd push you. Sorry, I'd slap you. And Bolsonaro goes, well, if you slap me, I'll knock you out. And then starts pushing her away because you can't be fucked with her because it's one of those TV reporters. Yeah, Bolsonaro was the guy that got stabbed. Brilliant guy though. He and she starts like going, security, what the fuck, man? Why you do this, man? And then he calls her a slut and tells her to stop playing the fucking victim. It's like, go on, fuck off, cry. I should probably put this on the screen. Let's see if I can rip this up on Twitter because there's a very specific bloke that does all of that. Ooh, Peter Cozy. Because I think the translation that he did ended up on a bunch of media organisation stuff, and he's like one of those Pepe fuckers. Is that it? Oh yeah, you full on just tells a woman you're fucking retarded, go to the library, whore. Right, hang on. Let's go to yeah, here we go.
Grava aí que eu sou estuprador agora. Olha, jamais estuprar você que você não merece.
Olha, eu espero que não.
Hang on.
Dá, eu te dou outra. Dá que 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 eu te dou outra.
Mas o que é isso?
Você me chamou de estuprador? Você me chamou de estuprador? Você é uma imoral. Tá, vagabunda?
Oh, legend.
O que é isso aqui? Desequilibrado. O que é isso
Vai dizer agora
desequilibrado?
que você é uma coisa.
Mas o que é isso? Mas o que é isso? Mas o que é isso? Mas o que é isso?
Go cry.
Mas o que é isso?
Ainda bem que ela gravou tudo ali.
Mas o que é isso?
Ainda bem que ela gravou tudo ali.
Mas o que é isso?
Ainda bem que ela gravou tudo ali. Chora agora, chora agora.
What a legend. That's supposedly going to be the future president of Brazil. Oh shit. Brazil is still around. I mean, the white guy. Yeah, no, shot right. I thought they fell around the same time as the Ottomans. Hey, check out the Chilean army. They're more Germanic than Germany. To an extent. You look like the lead actor of Queensman. What, are you talking about Taron Egerton? I I have been to the school where he's at. I was born in the same town as he was. Can't believe DJGT is dabbling on the Galactic Empire by having the Death Star plans on his death reference to see. No one dabs like old ladies and bingos. Oh, fuck you. You need to activate Windows. Yeah, no shit. It's a problem that I have. Oh, I thought I was going to go all the way back then. Oh. Yeah, this is about as far as I can go. What do you mean the off-brand version, LGBT version of Kingsman? I can't keep. That's. But can you do this? Oh dear. Yeah, Mr. Beast successfully yesterday got PewDiePie to keep his record of staying ahead of T-Series yesterday by giving him a shout out in one of his videos. So that's pretty good. Fucking T-Series. They're botting to shit. There's no fucking way. Is the pen tucked into the chair? What do you mean? Where? T-Series, yeah, definitely, they will. On the back. No, it's just broken. Fall over, please make my day. Let's see if I can make it break. Oh, not quite. And I'm not gonna break it because, oh god, my fucking back was killing me earlier on, honestly. I'm trying to. There's not really anything else that's happened recently. And you guys aren't added to the fucking well, some of you aren't. Some of you just being, you guys like maze. It's typical. Oh hey Nick, how's it going? I'm not wearing shoes right now. It's bad. The ones that I got right now really fucking hurt. I don't explicitly have a well. This counts as a briefcase, I think. Does this count? That's a briefcase. That's one brief. That's the only briefcase I have. And it's got a code on it, which is really swanky. Maybe let's go. Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean, anyone who's got PC later, if you want to play some CS, you can just add me on Steam. Looking very dapper today. Why is that? Well, I just felt as though a lot of these political podcasts, you do have people wearing suits. I just thought, why not? And you know, so being a neat bitch. That's the one, the only briefcase. It is. I can't sleep, so I watch your stream. Okay, what? So that I can send you to sleep? Well, fucking okay. Thanks, Vesco. I suppose it's a right to some. Yikes, that is really creaky. Fuck. Right. We need another topic, lads. We need another topic. We don't get another topic in 5 minutes? We're out of here. Seems as though I didn't need the hour and a half. Ah, I see. Oh shit, 3 exams tomorrow. Just take a bunch of Xanax. Like a lot. How do you get rid of Saudi pedos named Bob? Ah, bullet. Always bullets. Gun. It's like, how do you solve autism? Gun. It's perfect. Oh dear. Is colonialism ever justified? Use the sources provided. Yikes. Is colonialism ever justified? Yes, especially when you're going after countries that have immense wealth, and these such countries don't have the resources to facilitate an actual proper infrastructural system which would allow them to export or use it within its own country. So what I say is just roll in there and take all this shit and bug out, which would of course increase your economy greatly. It would completely bug out theirs. And when their land value is so low after all the resources being taken out, you just buy the country. If they're even that advanced at that point. And that's how Africa was colonised by Britain. Rolf Harris versus Bill Cosby prison rule. Bill Cosby has a secret power move where you can bring in Fat Albert and Rolf Harris brings out a kangaroo. Who would win? Bill Cosby will just make him fall asleep with a click. True story, there's one of my Discords who tried to give me Legos. Yikes. Like Wales. What, colonialism? Well, it was already Anglo-British anyway. So Wales wasn't really colonial. It's like, hey, let's just spread out a bit more there. It's like when it was Austro-Hungaria, and they were individual countries before that, but then they just merged and just made one country for the sake of it. Who would win, penguins from Madagascar or Osama bin Laden? How much time do the penguins get? Kowalski, analysis. What do you mean political rape? Yikes. Oh, fuck you. There's no need in there's no point in holding on to America. It was just too fucking costly to do it. Ironically, the way that the Americans won was via guerrilla warfare, which was then a couple hundred years later, was then employed by the farmers of Vietnam to completely fuck over one of the world's greatest superpowers. And just used completely against them. 2 days and the chimps as well. Yeah, they'd win. Forcing your tea on us, I suppose. Guess you're fired. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, the Asian exploit was very good by the British. See, there's one thing that I don't get about Pirates of the Caribbean 3. They go to fucking Singapore, or some like Asian outset. It must have been Singapore. And bearing in mind they're normally in the Caribbean, they go from like fucking East Asia, go all the way around the northern or the southern tip of the Americas, and specifically just to go back to the Caribbean. Rather get drugs than tea, to be honest. Good trade. Bloody lobsters valuing tea above all else. Supposedly. that was noise. They're doing another one, aren't they? Fucking hell. They just... fucking autists. Yo, Dutchman, can you fuck off? Yeah, cool. Only lobster steals no peas. Well, it looks as though that's it for me right now. I really do hope that you guys have enjoyed this stream. I will be on Twitter and Steam and Discord later on, so if you guys want to talk and maybe play some games later, then you're welcome to it. But I've been DJ GT and your host for the RedCoats Podcast. Any recommendations, you can at us on Twitter at RedCoat Podcast, and we'll have a look. But yeah, thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Hopefully it won't be as delayed as the one today was by about fucking 3 weeks. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and may the force be with you. Fallout 4. If I get money, if someone donates at the very fucking end of this stream, I will get Fallout 4. Alright, Matt? Alright? See you, cyberbully. Okay, there is a link in the description, just saying. I'm not going to beg, because, you know, I don't have tits. So. Yeah. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. See ya.